Collecting keys for your new property for the very first time? Congratulations! This is an overview of how the key collection as well as the handover will look like. First, you'll receive a notification email or letter from your law firm asking you to pay for the final payments. Then, once you have made payment, you'll be given access to an app for you to make an appointment for your key collection. So here's our pro tip. Arrange all these 3 appointments on the same day to save time. Step 1. Register for SP services and check the date and time available. Step 2. Check in with your defect specialist for the date and time they are available. And finally, open up the app for the key collection to check out which dates actually align for all 3 parties. So here's an example of what one of our clients did. At 10 AM, they collect the keys. At 11 AM, they have a SP service appointment, and at 11:30 AM, they have a defects check appointment. So by coordinating all these appointments on the same day, it actually saves you a trip down and speed up your defects rectification process. So on the appointed date, remember to bring all your documents as stated on the confirmation email. These include the following items. 1. Notice of issuance of temporary occupation permit from your lawyers. 2nd, appointment email confirmation. You'll get this once you book your appointment on the system. Number 3, the original IC or passport of the purchaser. Number 4, a copy of your vehicle log card and the 10-digit IU number. And if you're appointing a power of attorney to represent you because you're overseas, here's generally the documents that you will need. Do check the lawyer's letter or the appointment confirmation email for the exact items you need because every developer is different. And finally, it's time for key collection. When you drive into the condo, keep a lookout for signages for key collection. Key collection is usually in the function room at the clubhouse. Once you arrive, register with the representing officer and pass them all the documents. Once they have cleared the documents, this is where they'll give you a briefing and you'll receive your keys, usually a floor plan, app login for defects, and also guides for the property as well. Sometimes they even give you a lovely bag to keep everything in. And now it's time for us to head up to the house. Start off by doing the blessings that you want for your house and then proceed on to check the inventory to make sure that all the items are provided for. If you have arranged for SP services on the same day, at this point the SP service guy should arrive to switch on the supplies. He will also check to ensure that there's power in the house as well as water. Finally, it's time for the defect specialist to inspect the house with all his cool gadgets and tools. They will check the walls, the floors to see whether anything is amiss. Some examples will be uneven floors, hollow walls, scratches or dents on the fittings. Give the defect specialist the login for defects reporting and he will lodge all the defects in through the app. During this step, if you intend to rent out the property, this is where you can start looking into purchasing furniture, curtains, as well as lighting for the house. So the second visit is usually a defects joint inspection as well as preparation for the property. Now during this process, what happens next is that there will be a joint inspection between the developers, contractors, your defect specialist, and yourself as the owner. So for defects rectification, it can range from 3 to 4 weeks turnaround depending on the condo size and the number of neighbours collecting keys. So let's say you intend to stay or even rent out this property. During this visit, you can try to arrange for measurements to be done to decide on curtains, to decide on furniture, and even the fittings that you want, such as lights or ceiling fans. So depending on the tenant's profile that you hope to attract, the colours, the choice of furniture as well as fittings will play an important role. Contact one of the Property Runway agents to advise you on this. So during this visit, what happens is that you would be checking together with your defect specialist as well as the main contractor in the condo to see that majority of the items has been rectified. So take note that some carpentry may require a bit more time because they need to order the materials from overseas. So if it happens that there's too many outstanding items, then there's a high chance that you need to arrange for one more defects check with your defect specialist just to ensure that all the things that you want fixed are done so. At this stage, you can then proceed to book the appointments for your curtains to be fitted in, for your lights as well as ceiling fans to be installed, and also for your furniture to be moved in. Ideally, everything on the same day. So once you have booked all the appointments, remember to do the application with your condo to ensure that the moving in process will be cleared. These are some potential forms that you may need to fill up depending on your developer, the MCST, as well as your condominium. Number 1, you need to fill up a moving form. Number 2, you do need to fill up a renovation forms as well. For some condominium, this is a requirement even for the smallest things like curtains installation or even light fittings. Now, the last thing that you need to prepare is also a check because they will require a deposit for whether is it moving in or even renovations. So the next visit would be usually cleaning of the house. So this is a sample of my favorite schedule. Usually I like to arrange for the light fittings as well as curtain fittings to be around 9 AM in the morning, and then the cleaners would arrive 10 AM and finish off about 2 PM. The furnitures would then come in about 2 PM to 6 PM. So usually an agent can provide you some support in terms of receiving the furniture. This is because usually once we receive the furniture, we can also plan for the marketing shoot almost straight after. Finally, your private property is ready. So this is basically how the entire process of getting your new TOP private property would look like. Ideally, you head down to your new place only between 4 to about 7 times to get all these things settled. Click the link below for our checklist for TOP properties. If this video has been useful for you, do share and like. If you like to sell or even rent out your property, feel free to contact us at The Property Runway. We'll see you soon. Take care!